Alright, yo, what's going on everyone? Thank you for clicking on this video if you have. My name is Saiyanz. I am currently the world record holder of every category in the Grinch. I just achieved a 137 in 100% on PC, so I thought today I would watch back the run and give some advice, some tips, some pointers. If you do want to learn this game, you do unfortunately really need to sit down, watch the run, and then essentially just replicate the play. That's truly going to be your best way, but I'm just going to give some insights as I go. I don't know how well this is going to turn out. I've not practiced or thought about this. I'm just going to wing it. So I might play the run back in 2x footage if I feel it's not really relevant. If you feel like it's too fast, please watch the real run in real time or in slow motion if you feel you need to. But yeah, follow along to the run. I'm going to be doing that, but I might skip over some things or I might speed up some stuff because I'm on a time frame. I've got to leave here in an hour and 50 minutes and the run takes an hour and a half. So, you know, I'm going to try and explain whilst the video is playing. So for starters, if you haven't set up the game yet, feel free to head over to the guide section and click on this link. At the moment, at the present time of recording this video, the guide isn't working. I'm going to work on it either tomorrow or the day after. So I will have a tutorial on how to set up the PC version of the game on your computer soon. So feel free to have a look over there and feel free to join our Discord. It's right there if you have any questions. Alright, so let's get started. This is 100% on PC. I recommend for starters, well this will be in the setup, but make sure you set up your resolution at full screen, and I play on CD-ROM, so I play it off a disc. The timer starts on first bit of movement, so when you skip the cutscene, essentially a half a second after you press the button, you click start and off and away you go. I am going to speed this part up because this is in every single category, so I don't need to explain myself here. You essentially just pancake the boxes. When you pancake the last box, stay to the left side of the box and you'll be nearer to the key. Try to learn which angles to hold, how to move your camera around. Try to have consistency in what you're doing in this level and you'll get consistent results. Sorry if you hear slurping, I am drinking. There'll be no editing here. This will just be like a raw recording. And yes, I have not activated Windows. I should do that. Cool. Alright. There is something called... I'll quickly explain. There is something called textbooks, or scrapbook or textbook skip here. When the book is opening, you want to mash start and X in like a certain rhythm, and if you do it right here, like, or just before the book opens, you can actually, it thinks you're in the pause menu for a frame, so if you can press it on the right specific sweet spot, it will then actually skip this whole animation of the book opening, closing, and then going out. It saves about 1 second. I don't really do very well at it in today's day of runs, like when I did this set of runs and attempts. Streamed for like 5 hours and I just wasn't getting it. It's ironic, I'm better at it when I first start playing the game than later on. I might change this to 1.5 speed because I feel like this is a bit too fast. Yeah, so you're just running along. You got a bad breath certain who's to get presents to spawn and squash. I'm not going to explain that stuff, just watch along, obviously. I'm just here to give pointers. It's too complex to really go, oh, I'm not going to pause and go, okay, hit this present. Like, that's a bit too much. I will, however, kind of go over this present, ironically. So what you want to do is you want to single jump, and when you bounce off the present, spam X again to jump a second time. And what we'll do is you'll raise up and you'll land on top. So that's something good to note. Grab the egg second. It gives them a bit of extra time to generate either a 3 or a 5. Alright. Another thing with this present here. You can, if you can get it on the right frame, I missed it, but if you can press triangle, I recommend just mash triangle as you're falling onto the present and it should work. You can do the cutscene and break the present at the same time, which saves like half a second. And then you want to jump down here, and then you want to essentially run in like sort of like a C shape towards the door. Don't run straight at the door, do a curved run towards the door. So you want to run, and as soon as he starts animating, he's going to shoot. Wait for him to, like, then as he's about to shoot, start moving again. He'll miss his first shot. You run straight at the door, you press triangle. he will actually shoot behind you and miss again a second time, and then you're able to run through before the third shot hits. That's how you do that sequence there. I'm going to quickly explain this room as well. This is kind of hard at first to understand what angles to hold. You want to hold down left, and then once the black bars go, you want to hold left, and then jump. Obviously the camera hasn't caught up to Grinch yet, so once you've done that, don't really hold too many directional buttons. Just like feather tap a little bit, and you should land around the present. Just practice it, you'll get a feel for it. We've got another trick coming up here. I might just turn it to normal speed for this bit. So you want to... These presents can be annoying. I probably fucked this up, to be honest. Oh no, I got it. Perfect. So what you want to do is you want to... Don't play around with the camera. Just use your D-pad. Or use the camera if it helps, but I recommend not. I like this angle. You want to run and jump on the child's head. Run off the child's head. Jump again and turn around. That's all you need to do. You don't need to be on the top of the child. You just need to be partially on the child, and it's high enough for you to reach and grab the ledge. That's a really cool trick. The rest of this level is pretty straightforward, so I'm going to go back to 1.5, just breaking presents. Skip this present coming up here. We'll get it in a later visit. I mean, you can get it early if you want. It's up to you, but make a decision and stick to your route. Otherwise, you're going to confuse yourself. Pardon me. I just ate dinner. You've been waiting for this video? That's good, Blitz. Yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to ask as we go along. Alright, do you want to go left here? Sorry, I'm chewing so much. And then just follow along to what Max is doing here. Very straightforward. Grab the presents. When you enter this room and come out, you're going to summon Max again. And you're going to go the opposite way. Very important, just hold forward as you walk through the door. The muscle memory is to go to the right and then go around and hit the 3 presents. You don't do that in this room. I think it's the only room where you don't do that, so it's like he'll throw you off. So here we go again, 3rd room. And then you go off to the right, like every other room. Not a bad idea, Blitz. 2 good categories. I need to update my all gadgets world record. It's got the old route. Probably just learn 80% for now because the all gadgets route's wrong. Yeah, very straightforward. Alright, so we're getting up to the blueprints here. Now, it should spawn in... Alright, so this is something really important to note. You will notice when I do runs, if I get anywhere past this point, I always quit out of the game and start the game up again. Reason being that it actually, in the memory, it like remembers where, like if you do a playthrough and you quit out, and then you start a new game, it actually it keeps that memory somewhere stored. So when you boot up into the blueprint menu, it puts it on the screen that you were on. Say it's Marine Mobile, or Oculus Climbing Device, or Grinch Copter. It will stay in that place. So it actually is not optimal to... I mean, if you wanted to be technically optimal, you could boot up Rocket Egg Launcher, so on and so forth. I might make a rule to like ban that so we don't really take advantage and make the game more mundane to grind. But yeah, always quit out of your game before each attempt if you get past Whoville. It's just a lot easier for muscle memory and menuing. So you want to tap R1 at the start. As you will see here, this is, if you follow my route, the location of every blueprint will be in the same position every time. It will never change. It will always be in the same place. It's only if you grab it out of a different order, it will shuffle the way it's stacked. Another thing is the rotation. The rotation is completely random. I don't know what causes it to be randomized, but it is randomized. So don't follow my rotational movement. You need to improvise that yourself. And that's kind of like a skill set with this game, is that you always get thrown different circumstances. You need to remember the positions. The rotations, obviously the rotations of how the graphic looks, but the positions are most important to remember. So the first piece goes in the bottom left corner, so I'm going to grab it, I'm going to rotate it 3 times and then drop it down, and then this one will go in the top right corner, rotate it as well. This piece here with the little rectangle is always in the bottom right corner, so it's a good indicator there. And also those circular bits are usually on the right hand side towards the bottom as well. And then you rotate the gun. I had a complete brain fart. I was doing this in a pretty fast speed. You gotta remember, I'm playing this in 0.25 as well, so... yeah, and then you just leave into the next area. I'll probably play this on normal speed, this part. So you can go for the book skip again. I obviously don't get it because I'm bad. Alright, so right away at the start, you want to start running off to your right and grab the blueprint straight away. Pop the present. You can either pop the present and bad breath, or bad breath then jump. I kind of screw that up. Pancake that, and with 2 shots. Then obviously put the beehive in the top. I'm not here to teach you how to play the game. If you don't know how to play the game, maybe do a casual playthrough before you learn the speedrun. I'm not here to teach how to play the game. I mean, technically, if you were just casualing it and want to be able to 100% it, you can just follow this and you'll be able to 100% it. But this is designed for a speedrun, so you're meant to have some form of knowledge of the game. You want to grab that blueprint there and then jump up. One thing to note about this set of movement, I would not recommend following what I do here. Just be careful. See how there's eggs here? If you're good enough and you practice enough, you can grab that on the way and, as you can see, make it on time like I do. But I would honestly recommend skipping it because you waste almost half a second to a second there, and that could be the make or break between making it on time. As you can see, the timer is very clutch. I like to drift off to the right here and then build some sidewards momentum as I jump onto the present to just easily get up there. From here, so the way to get this present is you kind of want to run past and you want to be almost like side by side the chimney or slightly in front of the chimney, whatever works, as long as you're side by side. And then you essentially, like, even though the camera is skewed, you want the Grinch to jump forward and do a double jump. Like that, with a little left shimmy. And then when you drop down, you can shoot the guard, I guess we'll call them, and then you can then break that present. That one might take a bit of practice. It is a difficult jump at first. There's a lot of things you'd be doing in this game that do require a lot of muscle memory and knowledge. This game is heavily reliant on positioning and knowing your positioning well, and like, because you're playing with a D-pad, right? So you got to know where to position yourself before shooting, and how many, like, what sort of input presses I got to do as soon as I aim in with my gun. There's all these sort of elements. I'll try to cover those when they come up and they're relevant, but I'm not going to teach you where to stand still. Like, a lot of it is improv to a degree. Or sometimes you can't make that present on the right jump. You've got to run at a certain angle. It's really precise. I screwed it up there. This next bit is really difficult for aiming. I can sometimes get it really fast, and today I'm pretty sure I did it poorly, so be mindful. You want to run up. See how there's like this little... let me pause. See how there's like, on the mouse, there's this slant here and this slant there? You want to essentially run up to the corner part, like so, and then just aim in right away, and you'll shoot that present. And then you want to shoot the 3 there. Just make sure you're doing singular presses, it's very hard otherwise, and then that's it. Leave those other 2 presents, you're going to get those in a moment. This next bit, sorry, this goes by fast. This next bit, as soon as you're running down, as soon as you're about to, like right now, I'm pressing square. because sometimes there's a bit of a buffer with the bad breath, so you don't want to press it too late. So I'm already, see, as you can see, the breath is already out, and it actually stays out for a period of time. So by the time I land, I'm actually hitting them. As well, another trick you can do, there's so many little things. Another thing you can do here is if you jump low enough, as you push into the model of the person, it will spawn the present and you will squash it at the same jump. So rather than jumping on it, then jumping on it, you can do it both in the one jump. I didn't get it there, obviously. I might get it somewhere else in the run at some point. I'll try to point it out if I do. It is a very precise jump. I should be able to get it, truth be told, at least 60 to 70% of the time, but I was like 4 to 5 hours into playing this day, so I was pretty tired. And there were some slip-ups for sure. Alright, this next bit's kind of important to mention as well. I feel like I'm not going to meet my quota on time. Anyway, so you want to turn here, and then don't touch the camera. I think I might screw it up in this run, but don't touch the camera. And then you want to run up, and you essentially want to be in the middle of the house. So not on the right edge, not on the left edge, right in the center. And then as soon as you are, you flick to the right to turn, and then you should have a good angle for the shot. If you don't, just reshuffle and readjust until you get it. But that's the sort of setup I found that gives me pretty consistent results. I won't really have to explain too much in Who Forest 2, so I'll probably speedrun that. Like, watch the run in real time if you need. Once again, this is just for pointers. Leave that present for a bit. Alright, so you want to jump up, and you want to press... you want to activate the elevator earlier rather than later, because you're going to be spawned closer to the blueprint. Then what you want to do, as you're going up, you want to hold down and right. I'm referencing a PS2 controller here, so please forgive me. That's what I play with. So you hold down and right, then you turn around, and then you turn the camera. I think I screw it up in this run here, but I should have jumped earlier. Oh no, I got it. Okay, so I'm going to put this in slow. So you want to grab the present, and then you want to run and jump. And see here, it's right above the left green circle. There's like, right here, there's like, the mesh kind of pokes out a little bit, and it gives a little bit of landing space for the Grinch. So he'll land, and then you'll just jump again. You don't want to mash jump, you want to go jump, jump. So then you jump again, and then you make it up. And that's how that trick works. Jump down. Grab that. You want to grab this and then drop it. And then grab the other one. And then run away and then put the last one in. This is to do a death abuse at the end, so we can get to the start of the level quicker. And then here, I like to wait until he does one little animation. I aim in, and then I jump. I mash for a double jump, but I don't always get it. So then you just do it again, and then you just run into the blueprint. And that's it. So then you die. And then, yeah, that's the end of the level. Here's the next blueprint. I'll just let it play in real time. Find your own rhythm that works for you. That looked like a good menu to me. I might speed this up now to 1.5. This is pretty straightforward. You're just running all the way through till you get to here, and then you want to shoot one beehive. If there's eggs there, leave them alone, and you'll grab them on the way back. Put this in, and then after this animation, I hold down left, or down. I hold down with a little bit of down left. And then I hold right and then upright. So I do like a circular motion. And as I do that, I break that present there. So there is a present there. So be careful when you're following along, because you might not notice it. But always be looking out for numbers, because I might be squashing presents off screen. You gotta get 3 beehives, switch, climb up. Simple. And then number 2, there are eggs off to the left. I 100% recommend grabbing them every run. I had pretty good eggs this run, and I was trying to be optimal, so I skipped them. I would recommend grabbing it. Make sure you get that present. If you miss it, you can grab it later. It's not that important, so don't freak out. After animation there, hold up, like forward, or like the up on the D-pad. As soon as you like gather movement like that, double jump right away, and you'll land straight onto the present. Alright, sweet. Here's another example of where you can do this double jump trick. I think I might get it here. So you want a bad breath. If you get a low enough angle, nope, I didn't. I was too close to him. That was probably my issue. You can jump down here and grab the eggs yourself. I usually like to just shoot the present and the ice wall, then use max. Alright, so you want to pancake this. If the eggs look like this, that means like there's 3 different shapes of the eggs. So this is a 1 egg. It will bulge up a little bit to 3, and then it'll bulge up again to 5. If it looks like that, just switch your gadget and skip it for now, because it's actually still animating and loading in. It's still loading in more eggs. So whilst doing this, you're going to get a consistent 5. It 80% of the time is already spawned in as a 5, because it's spawned in as you've come up this area and you're running around doing things. But if not, you just pop both the presents and then drop down and grab the eggs then. Then you want to shoot this lady here, or person, or whoever, and then you want to bad breath, then jump on the present right away. Then during this cutscene, allow like the screen to load back in, like that, and then hold forward. Don't hold forward whilst in the cutscene, because it can bug with the camera, because you move off screen. I'd recommend just waiting. Bad breath. Also, another thing with this is that when you bad breath, wait half a second, or like to a second, and then start double jumping, because as he goes in, the presents come out, and then you're pancaking it as it's coming out. That's saving you heaps of time, because you're doing it continuously throughout the run. So I would strongly recommend getting into that habit. Here's another cool trick. You want to just run up the left side of the building. You just want to double jump, and just shimmy to the right. Just do a little bit of a right up, like a diagonal. And what you'll do is you'll just end up making contact with the floor. And then I like to animation cancel, and then to skip the whole, because there's buffer animation, like there's an animation buffer, like frames or buffer frames when you land. So by animation canceling, it lets you move right again. So yeah. And then you want to jump on top of the present and then press triangle. I mean, on top of the chimney and press triangle. You don't have to get on top of the chimney, but the hit detection's really bugged out, sorry. So you want to, I recommend jumping on top of the chimney, because I've lost runs there before. Hey, Etzian, Etessian, sorry. It's probably because I did a stream on GDQ a few weeks ago, so it's starting to recommend me a lot, which is cool. I screwed this up. Ignore this. I think I needed to be closer to the present, and I got caught twice. This is not normal at all. Just do the sort of movement that I do, but don't go so far out to the right. That was just a mistake, and I was pretty frustrated at myself for this. I'm going to speed this up to 2 times, in fact, because it's just, you're just getting presents and then grabbing blueprints. I may need to do this stream in 2 parts at this rate, because I do have to leave to get Ricky in an hour and a half. So I will see. The run takes about an hour and a half, and we're 15 minutes in, so we'll see how we go. Only fill that up halfway when jumping, by the way. I'm not going to go into how to do the movement in these houses, just practice and you'll figure it out. It's nothing too complex. Alright, and then we've got the slime shooter here. This one's a bit trickier. I don't like giving tips on how to do these menus, because you should do it your own way. I recommend strongly, if you have the time, get an emulator, play through the game, and make save states, and then just practice menuing, and just on save states, just over and over and over and over again. Oh, that's another book skip I missed. So you want to get 5 eggs here. You want to turn the camera so it despawns and respawns in the red egg off camera. Then you want to shoot the droid here. This is a very difficult level. This one will require practice. Jump on the present. All right, another cool thing to mention here, just before the pole is about to close, just hold down on the D-pad. It actually thinks, it still continues to animate, but it requires you to do one less swing, which will save you like 1 second every time. Then you want to drop down, run, jump right off the edge here, double jump, and then you want to spam R1 as soon as you land. And then I like to jump again, just to be sure. I was an absolute idiot, and I fell. That normally doesn't happen. If not, maybe don't jump the second time. But if you end up screwing this up, this is the backup. You just get the bird pizza, or get the pizza from the birds, and then jump up. Just do a full jump there, and then pop it. And then you want to grab 5 reds here. Because this allows, if you do everything perfectly, you don't need to get any red eggs in the next room. But if you screw it up, I'll show you what to do. You want to grab that. Just follow along, very simple. You can jump off early and then look at the pipe, and then it will finish animating for you. But I don't really recommend getting into that habit. And I would for any percent, but for 100%, just new players, I wouldn't recommend doing that strat. You can break both the present and the barricade at the same time. You have to like wedge yourself in between. I do like know how to do it. What I'm doing there is I'm double jumping, knowing I'm not landing on the present, and as I'm about to hit the ground, I tap forward so it hits both at the same time. I strongly recommend against doing that. Please just break the present, then break the barricade. Don't try and do that. There's an example of me doing the animation skip here. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold X and jump off. This obviously, the pipe isn't completed, but I'm going to switch gadgets, break the present here, get the blueprint, and then press the button. And as I turn my camera back and I'm looking, you'll see here that it actually finishes animating. And it actually, there you go, the pipe is linked. I would not bother with this. I would just do the down button method I recommended before. I would only recommend that when you're more experienced and comfortable with what you're doing. You don't want to overcomplicate things. So at this point, you should have 2 eggs when you get to this point in the level. But if you don't have 2 eggs by this point, I strongly... Oh, shit, sorry. There's a red egg over here. Leave Grinch where he is. Don't run down there with Grinch. Summon Max. Run him over there and grab whatever red eggs you need. And do that camera panning movement that you do at the start of the level to get more. But make sure when you're done, don't leave Max on the red eggs. Move him away from the red eggs. Because if he stays standing on it, it won't spawn back in. And you're going to need it in just a moment here. Unless you grab, of course, like a good amount of red eggs, but that's a waste of time. So I would, yeah, just make sure you move Max off of it. Here's the downward press method. There you go, drop down, hold forward, go straight onto the birds there, take your shot. Obviously, I'm pretty experienced with the animation cycles of the birds, so it may take a bit of time to get familiar. So yeah, just practice. The better your aim is, the more eggs you have, the safer your run is. So the more accurate you get, the better. And the faster as well. I always recommend grab these eggs. They're a consistent 5. Sometimes they're not. Like it's about 80% of the time they will be a 5 or a 3 at least. So I would recommend grabbing them no matter what. See, that's when you grab that extra red egg and then you break that droid. Then you run over this way and then you shoot the birds. And then you want to like follow my movement very carefully here. You want to run to this position here. This is like the perfect standing point to shoot all 3 presents. So you can go right with a 1 downward press, then right and then 1, oh sorry, up. Up is down and down is up. So you can do, I'll go back over it again and I'll show you. I didn't do it very well here, but you can then move to the right and tap up once, which will push your aimer down. And then you can, as you can see, shoot that. And then you can move it to the right and then tap down to go up again. And it should line up perfectly. There, as you can see. And that's how that works. Don't grab the blueprint yet. You want to run to the left. Sorry, I've got a fucking mouse. You want to stand around here. You want to turn. And you'll line up perfectly. You don't need to hold up or down. It should just be a left turn. Bang, shoot the pipe. Unless you're shit like me. And then you want to hold down to go up and then to your left. and you'll shoot the birds, grab the blueprint, grab the pizza, pancake the present. This is the hardest present in probably the whole game to get. It is incredibly precise because you don't have binoculars. So you want to find the right position. If anything, screenshot where I'm standing right now. I'm pretty certain this is a perfect spot. Yep, it is. And that's usually roughly where I aim every single run, if I can. Grab 2 red eggs here. Grab 3 if you want to play it safe. You want to then shoot this robot. And then the second one. If you know it's about to turn, like I did there, you'll notice I waited intentionally. I could have shot it right away. I know it's animation cycle, but I intentionally just waited because it animates so quickly. So it's super easy to miss your shot. So you want to be really careful there. Just make sure you're not like rushing. Just watch the animations through and make sure you're doing it at a safe, appropriate time. You want to def abuse there and you want to jump up. Once you get to the top of this hill, just aim in right away and tap down once and you should shoot the birds there. And then right after, as soon as you're about to run off, just do a single jump and hold forward. I obviously miss it there, but you should land on the red present. Alright, so yeah, I definitely thought I'm going to go over schedule here, but we're about to get to rats. This is hands down the hardest part of the run to learn. It's very rewarding when you master the mechanics of the rats. But yeah, it's difficult, but I'll try to give pointers as I go. At this point, that droid might be nearby, like right where I'm standing, so you want to jump. Make sure you jump over them. You should be able to dodge their shot in that circumstance. Alright, so make sure you grab 1 red egg as you're running through. Very important. That red egg is important. Then you want to run, and then as you're about to fall off, do a double jump and a little shimmy to the right, and you'll crush 1 present there. Then you want to crush this present here, and make sure every time you're crushing it or pancaking a present, do an R1, R1, and that will cancel the animation. Animation cancels are important to know. I use them constantly, and it saves minutes throughout the game. Then you want to stand roughly in this position here, around this area. Find the place that works for you. One thing to note, you don't have to stand here and shoot all the platforms right away. If I can do it, I will prefer to do it, but sometimes my positioning's off. It's very precise. Pardon me. So you want to make sure that if you can't do it or you're not comfortable or confident, just run, like, go over to the area, shoot the platform, then move the rats. Shoot the platform, move the rats. Like, do it like that, or just when you're closer to the platform, shoot them. Luckily, I found that's the sweet spot right there where I can essentially shoot every platform precisely in that position, so that makes it so much easier. I can now just focus on rats. So rats kind of work. I always use the analogy like a magnet. You know how you put 2 magnets together and they resist, they bounce away from each other? They don't want to be anywhere near each other. The Grinch is essentially 2 magnets colliding. So if... Oh wait, let me use a different analogy here. So the Grinch is a magnet, the rats are a magnet, right? 2 magnets can't clip together. They just simply can't. That's not how it works. But Max the dog is a bit of, he's like a metal, or like, you know, he's something that you can, or like steel or metal. He's something that the rats will come towards and attach themselves to. So you can use Max as a way to move the rats into an appropriate position for your benefit. You'll see how I use it here, but with the Grinch, the way that the opposites of the magnets works well here. So I'm just trying to push the rats into a certain position. I'm just trying to get them through the platform to the next area. Then you'll see I curve my way around to the right side of the rat to start pushing him towards the platform. At the same time, there's another rat. Sorry, I gotta stop pointing at my screen. Right here, I'm actually moving forward and pushing him to the left to get them all piled together right in the second area, right? So then I push him through to the next area. So I've got 1 rat here, 1 rat here, and 2 rats here. So I'm now pushing. Sometimes it's good to pile them together. So I push those 2 rats over to the rats over there, right? Now this, I'm going to say rat a lot here. This rat, I'm going to just push straight through because he's a lone wolf, or he's like on his own. If you've got a lone rat, just push him through. Don't try to get him with the rest of the pile. It's a waste of time. So just push him through like I did there. He's right at the platform. You don't have to get him through the platform. Just get him to the platform or near it. And then next you want to create that angle to then get them towards this platform here. As you can see, 1 there, 2 there. The third one's almost there. If I stood here, he would then be pushed onto it, but we don't want him to get pushed over this side too much. So now I'm focusing on getting this rat, and this rat to this area here on the left-hand side. So you'll see by producing this angle here, I was able to push 2 of them, but because they weren't bunched together well enough, I ended up pushing the rat back into the previous area. So now I do the same process again. See, I'm just always trying to produce angles that push them to the left. So then I get the next rat. This one here is the most important, this rat right here. I recommend just push this rat forward as much as you can. As you can see here, I got this rat stuck as well like an idiot. You don't want this rat to miss the platform and go off to the right, because once he does, you can't use the Grinch to get him back in. You have to use max. So I would recommend just focusing on making sure you don't get the rats off to the right here in this area, because you're screwed. Also, you don't want the rats to go off to the right side of this next area. This is the most crucial part of probably the whole sequence here. So you want to lightly push so you don't want to get too close to the rats and push them too far forward. You want to just get them ever so slightly. As you can see, this rat here is ever so slightly past the platform. Next, because these 2 guys are through and clear, they're in a good position. We're now going to focus on getting the rest of the rats to the platform here. This will just push them all the way through. They'll push along this mesh, because you're essentially pushing them on this kind of angle here, and what it's doing is it's pushing them against the wall, and then once they can clip through, they'll clip through. So once they've clipped through, you want to then run to here and then run along this wall. What that will do is that will push the rats this way. It'll push them off to the left. You don't want to get rats caught off to the right, but as you can see here, I'm starting to have some drifting. See this area here? Anywhere on... If the rats get past this pipe on this line here, I'm screwed. But in this position here, I'm okay. So as you can see, the rat is on the line. So what I can do is I can then jump over the pipe, and now I can push those rats back into position. I actually push them to the left side. From there, you don't want to, make sure you're not getting too close to the rats if you have a bad camera. Move away and readjust. As you can see, I screwed up here. I got too close to the rats and I pushed them. And what happened is this rat's now stuck in this corner and this rat's stuck up against the wall. This isn't what was meant to happen. I was meant to push them around to here and then push them through the platform. So as you can see, they're both gone. Nothing I can do. But this is kind of perfect because I can show you the backup here. Shoot the present. So what I like to do in this X area is push them up against this barricade or this wall here. This is like a wall that they can't clip through. Push them up against it because it makes it easy then for them to grind against the wall and then clip through the platform, right, to the next area. So push them up against the wall here and then push them through the platform like so. And then you want to push them up to around about, you want to get them to this area here. Try to pile all the rats just in front of the door here. I think, yeah, like that. And then you want to summon Max. Remember, Max is like a piece of metal, so they're all going to want to get to Max. So by running through inside, make sure you push them all the way through, because sometimes the rats can clip out of bounds. They will all run into the pit themselves. Like so. And then what you want to do, if you have rats that have, see, for example, you'll see off to the right here, if they clip out of bounds, they'll respawn back in their default position. So one clipped out of bounds. What you want to do from there is summon Max, and then you want to use him to get him out. Oh, you know what's funny? They didn't clip out of bounds at the ending. They actually clipped out of bounds at that wall there. I didn't know that was possible. Interesting. So yeah, I've got that one rat out of the awkward corner, and now I'm pushing the next rat through. I'll then just use Grinch here because it's more efficient to just finish this one off. I won't bother using Max a second time here. I'll just push him through myself, and then that's this sequence done. My segment timer was around 6:03 to 6:05. That's actually a very good time. I think the lowest I've ever gotten is like a 5:49 or 5:50. So yeah, there's always room for improvement. If you're getting around about a 7 to a 7.5 minute time, that's pretty good. Don't beat yourself up. This is the hardest level in the game to probably optimize. So give yourself time, obviously, but that's how Rats works. Oh, that was a lot to explain. I apologize for making that complicated, but that's like the best analogies, and that's like the philosophy I use when thinking about how I'm trying to do that sequence. So you want to get 5 reds here. You only need 4, but I grabbed 5 just in case, and you'll see how I can utilize the 5th one. If I hit every shot, it's good. If I miss one, I've got a spare. So you want to shoot all those droids. Make sure you shoot that barricade, really important. Don't worry with the present, we'll get it later. You want to then shoot this droid here, and if you have a spare, sweet. If you've used them all, that's okay. You can just do a bit of movement here, but if you've got a spare, try and shoot this droid here, and it'll make it a lot easier for you. If sometimes the birds don't fly up, they'll sometimes get stuck on the floor. Shoot the birds, and then they'll make them animate. Then you can shoot them again right away. If the droid is still not shot, like the one with the red bullet here, he will go like this, up and down this spot here. As soon as he hits this point, and he's heading back that way to your left, as soon as he's up the top against this wall right here, and he's about to move this way, you want to run straight at him this way, and you'll miss him perfectly and run past him. Alright, so this next trick's really important. This is a massive sequence break. It's OCD skip, or I think there's a better name for it, but anyways. You want to summon Max, and you want to put him past this black splotch on the floor here. Right here, just in front, near the shadow is fine. And then you want to shoot the back one first, and then the front one second if you want to be optimal. It doesn't matter which one. If you're just taking your time, it doesn't matter ultimately which way you do it. And what will happen is Max is underneath the mattress, and it will actually clip him through the mattress. So what's happening here is, because he's on the mattress, the robot right here can't drop down all the way. And if he can't drop down into position, he will spawn in higher. And when he spawned in higher, he can't shoot for some reason. It like bugs out his AI. So optimally, what you do here is you shoot, you grab the eggs as they spawn, and then you jump. I would recommend just grab the eggs, take your time, and then jump. Jump it when it's appropriate. So you want to jump here, jump again. Then you want to run against this brick barricade right here. You want to aim in. You'll be aiming too low, so you want to tap down once, and it should then line you up in perfect position. Grab every egg you can here. I think I skipped one, but I recommend grabbing it. They're all 5 eggs. They're all recommended to grab, because eggs are really tight in this route. Oh, I'm getting hoarse throat now. Now, usually when you have a blueprint text like this come up, it won't let you aim in, but in this area it will. So you can animation cancel there. That's one area in the game where they didn't code it in, or it just allows you to animation cancel even with the blueprint text out. Either that or I did it on the first frame of it going. I don't know. It always works for me though. I haven't really tested it properly if it works at any point. And you want to grab the blueprint, and then you want to sneak up here. I'm going to put this on 1.75. Run up to him here. Make sure you don't run. Make sure you crawl. And you want to grab this present right here. The blueprint. Yeah, actually, I know for a fact that... Yeah, sorry. Let me correct myself. You can animation cancel freely with the blueprint text out, because you can do it here as well. So, in most areas of the game you can't, but there you can. Make sure you grab these eggs on the way out too. And then you want to shoot the birds, the 2 presents, the pipe, and then the swinging pendulum thing here. Shoot the present, switch to your gadgets first so you can animation cancel. And it'll save a half a second there. When I'm jumping out, as soon as I'm out of the hole, I hold down the left. And then that usually gives me the right angle to run straight towards. You want to grab... I'll put this on normal speed now. You want to grab the red, but do not grab the blueprint, because the blueprint here won't let you aim in, so you can't shoot the droids. You want to skip that, and then as soon as you get to this position, turn left and aim in. I would recommend waiting. I can usually do it instantly, but that time, because I was my last attempt, I wanted to play it extra safe. So just wait and watch the animation carefully. And then run around and grab this red egg here, the present, then you want to shoot. And I'm going to teach you guys how to cutscene skip here. It saves quite a bit of time, especially in PC port, because if you fail it, it makes you do this whole mini game again. So from here, you want to run and jump And then you want to just land to the right-hand side of where the lever is. So that gives you a bit of wiggle room to work here. You then want to shoot the present. I mean, the bird. See how it says grasp lever? That's really important. We need that text to stay there as we grab... I don't know why I grabbed it. As we grab the pizza. So you want to position yourself nearby. And then as you're in the air, you want to tap... feather tap. Up and right, like you want to just do a little tiny wiggle to then keep the text there, but land on the pizza. As soon as you land on the pizza, you'll see the grasp lever is still there. Then grab the lever and then pull it, and then that will skip the whole cutscene and allow you to finish the minigame. After you've done that, you want to press L1 to load back in, or R1, I forget, to load in your device, then shoot the present. Then you want to push this one down. I have a funny way of attempting this second cutscene skip. It's frame perfect, so don't expect yourself to get it. As you pull out, I press L1, and then I press L1 again to reload the gadget. I then turn the lever, and then it's frame perfect, but if you aim in on the correct frame, it's here. If you aim in on this frame, it will skip the cutscene. It will come up with a 10 and say you've done the mission, and that will skip all of this, which saves... let's find out. How much does it save? It saves 10 seconds. You then want to grab this box here. Back one to the left. And then you want to pull the lever and then squash the present. Grab the eggs before you leave. That's a free 3 to 5. Alright, Whoville 2. This level sucks. The windows are random. To some degree. If the windows don't open, shoot at the windows. If that doesn't work, slightly shuffle your position, look away, aim in, look up, and it should load in the window animation. Either shoot at the window if that doesn't work, aim out and then aim back in and then try to shoot it. You want to shoot that kid and then get the presents there, shoot that window. Reminder, these windows are not consistent. Look at the positioning very carefully, where I stand. It makes it easier to line up your shots. Learn the positioning of where the Grinch should stand when taking his shots. You want to shoot that guy up top, very important, so then you can get all the gifts here. Shoot this child and the gift, and then get the yellow present underneath. Once again, reminder, please refer to my positioning. I use the same positioning or almost somewhat near every single run, and by doing that, I then am able to optimize how fast I shoot things. For example, that clock. And you want to slime shoot the guard and get the 10, and then run on inside. Once again, not here to teach you how the game and all the gadgets work. You need to learn that yourself. As you open the door, run through a little bit, and then you should be able to line up your shot. You want to hold up here to cut the corner, then you want to jump, single jump. On PSX, you can do this little thing here quicker. You don't even need to pull this safe out, but in PC you do. Alright, so as you enter this room, you want to hold forward and just double jump, because what you'll do is you'll have the perfect lineup for this present here. From there, everything here has lasers. If you want to, you can bad breath the lasers to make them show if you need to see them. Obviously, I don't think it's necessary. You don't really need to see them. You can just jump over it. It's pretty obvious where they all are. They're all connected between each pole or pillar, so just be careful and make sure you double jump over. Hit the red switch and then disrupt the statue. As you run through, just hold a little bit of left, line up your shot, don't miss like me, shoot the guy, squash the present. As you go through this door, as soon as you run through it, jump straight away, just a single jump. And that will give you the perfect camera angle to run through this door. You want to then pull out the very right, then second to the left, and then second to the right. As you pull out this last one though, if you're optimal or if you're comfortable, this one's not too scary to do. As you're pulling, you can then hold L1 and then tap to the right to switch back to your rocket egg launcher. What that will do is that will then clip the object that you've grabbed onto to you, and the blueprint will come out faster, and you've already switched gadgets as well. So that saves about 1.5 to so seconds, I would say. Maybe even 2. I would recommend just don't bother. It's an any percent trick mainly anyways. Positioning, once again, need to remind you, very important. I like to stand at the very top of this snow area. And usually what that does is that allows me to shoot the child, shoot the present here, but I screw it up because I was slightly off positioned. It usually allows you to shoot everything in one area. Shoot the present, shoot the window. The window was bugging out, so I gave up on the window. I then got grabbed by the child. The window now loaded in. Now the other window's loaded in. So sometimes you just got to switch up what you're doing and just give the game some time to figure out what it needs to do. Alright, so this next shot's kind of important. Run to the end here. Stand around roughly this position. Tap up, and then usually you should be aimed perfectly. Positioning is so important in this level. So once again, please, a big reminder, learn where you're standing and stand in the same place every run, or you're gonna screw yourself. I do a funny little trick there. This is a very optimal trick. It saves you about 1.5 seconds, but if you miss a shot, you lose 5 eggs straight away. If you, as you're switching gadgets, as soon as you're switching gadgets, and if you hold down shoot, it actually shoots like a rocket egg launcher, but it shoots a full powered slime shot, and that will slime him instantly. I would recommend not doing that. Allow it to animate, then wind it up, then shoot. It allows you to aim your shot better because it comes out like frame 1. After squash the presents, leave those last 2, and then use Max to grab them, and then leave Max sitting on these eggs. Another thing here, sorry, there's so much to cover. When you switch gadgets, don't animation cancel. It doesn't work in this room, in this bottom floor here. We'll then climb up, then squash the 3 presents. I'm going to speed this up because this is just a puzzle. If you need to know how to do it, you can watch along here, or better yet, watch along to my actual world record run, which is on my 2nd YouTube channel. Same as this tutorial. This tutorial will be going on my 2nd YouTube channel. Yeah, like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Hello, Thrindos, or however you pronounce your name. Welcome. Yes, Grinching indeed. I'd just love to get this game more accessible. I'd like to see people try it at that 12-hour speedrun challenge. I doubt they'd try 100%, but you know, who knows. This is the best category the game has to offer. This is an S tier category. I would then say, what would I say is next? PSX any percent's like A tier with PC any percent, and all gadgets is like, yeah, I'd say like all gadgets and 100% PSX. Oh no, they're all like A to B tier, like for the most part, anyways. Shout outs to May the MILF for the sub. Oh, one thing I should have mentioned here. So as you come up, I like to summon Max straight away. Grab the 2 eggs, and then as you grab the hammer, this bell sequence, the color of the bells is random every time. There's usually common patterns you'll see, and you'll be able to remember, but I usually am in my head going green, red, yellow, pink, blue. Like I'm saying that in my head. So yeah, you want to do that, green, red, yellow. After yellow, I grab the 2 eggs here because it's more optimal, and it's a free 10 eggs. Don't not grab those eggs. Make sure you always grab those eggs every run, no matter what. Even if you get an awkward order and you're at the last bell, before you shoot up onto the last bell, summon Max and grab the eggs. As well, you only need to wind up to about 1/4, and that will hit the bell. As the cutscene's playing here, this depends on your position, but you can actually move whilst the camera is locked in this position. So for me, I hold up and a little bit of left. And then you walk through the door. Once this animation starts, hold L1 and switch to your rocket egg launcher, which should be left. It will actually switch gadgets as you're waiting in the loading animation, I guess you want to call it. This will allow you to then use the rocket egg launcher. You can animation cancel, and it saves you a gadget swap later. I would recommend doing that. Get into that habit. That is a good habit. I decided to grab those eggs there. Max will continue to grab 1 or 2 more as I'm heading down. As you head down to the bottom here, you may have a 5 right in front of you. If you have a 3 or a 5 right in front of you, grab it. If it's a 1, leave it. And then that should be a 3. Alright, so I guess it's time to go back to normal speed here. So you want to jump up, shoot the window first. It will always animate first. And then when you crush the present, you want to crush it. See, I actually crush it in the wrong position. See how, like, I can't line up my shot? So you want it, the problem I did was, see how I squashed it here? Right on the center? You want to squash it on the right of the present. So you want to squash it on the right, and then you want to tap, and I mean feather press the down button, and that will do a turnaround animation. Then you want to aim, and then you pull it up and a little bit to the left, and then that will line you up perfectly to shoot the present. I was slightly too much to the left, so I slightly missed it to the right and slightly missed it to the left, and that was my problem. I reshuffled and then I fixed it. Jump onto the right here, shoot the kid, get the present. Get these 2 presents in this window here. God, I'm running low for time. I spent so much explaining. I'm going to speed up the rest of this level. I might have to do this in 2 parts at this rate. I was trying to hurry. Oh, as you jump up, as soon as you land on the floor, aim in straight away, and then shoot to the right of the window because the hitbox extends out. And then you should be able to complete the mission there. And then leave the room. Lovely. Alright, so you want to create the Oculus climbing device. After you complete it, press L1 and left, and that will switch you to the slime shooter. You have to wait. For some reason it takes like 4 seconds for it to load the option to go to the blueprint menu again. So you switch gadgets to save yourself doing a gadget swap later. Hold R1 to then scroll to the binoculars as well. And then we head off to Who Forest 3. See how I've got the slime shooter out right away? That's kind of ideal. That's what you want. Jump up, get the present, then slime the bees. Then you get the key card. Don't forget the cable car key card, very important. Activate the cable car, enter the cable car. I forgot, but switch gadgets as your switch gadgets and then press triangle. You want to bad breath that guard there. I'm going to slow this down. This is too fast. And then grab the presents as you go. You want to shoot this kid up here. Then grab the eggs. As you turn around, bad breath this guard here. You usually get caught. Squash the present here. As you squash this iceberg, squash it at the front, and it will then spawn the present away from the hole, so then Max can be spawned in to run through the hole. Then you want to grab these eggs here, then these eggs here and here, then jump, and then jump again to pancake onto the present. Aim a bit to your right and shoot the present there, and then turn around, and then don't jump over the fence like I did. I got lucky there. And then shoot the snow there and drop him in. Then stand right next to where the eggs are, switch gadgets, and then shoot. I like to shoot either this ski or this ski. The hitboxes suck. Don't shoot here or here. It won't work. Shoot right in the middle. This ski or this. Yeah, this ski or this ski here works fine. And it should hit it. After this cutscene, I press R1 to do an animation cancel. And then I grab the 2 eggs there. The present on top of here. And then I essentially, any eggs on the way, and then I leave. As you leave, switch to Oculus climbing device before pressing triangle. And I'll skip an animation. Thank you, Soggy. I'm not doing runs, but thank you. You want to jump. Don't jump too far to the left here because you will get kicked off. Just jump there. Or a bit more to your right if you want to play it safe. This here is probably the hardest part of the run, in my opinion, so just be careful, and please be sure. Make a save if you're learning at this point, so then you can practice. You then want to summon Max. As you can see, most of these eggs are 1s. So I actually intentionally don't grab them with max, so it gives them more time to load into potentially 3 to 5s. I grabbed that egg there, so Max is now standing on an egg, so he'll continue to grab them as I go. Now, as I'm running along, they all turn to 5s. So that's smart egg routing. That's what you want to be careful of. Make sure you're doing that. Egg routing is very important to save time. As I jump up here, I actually like to jump up the little bit on the left here. I actually push myself against this, and then that lets me grab on as far to the right as I can. So as I climb up vertically, I just barely miss this platform, and I can get all the way up. Alright, so we climb up here. Drop down. For some reason, the animation with the gadget switch here sucks. So if you want to shoot and then aim in a second time, that's how you skip the animation there. This is a good example of what I was talking about before, where you can do 2 things in one jump. If you're low enough on this iceberg, you can break the iceberg and break the present at the same time. So I like to jump around about here, and as you can see, like, because I'm pancaking from the side, it then continues to animate and I break both presents at the same time. I then break another present that spawns out from the base, and then, yeah, continue on. These are all small things, but this is how you optimize the game. This is exactly my approach to the game anyways. As you jump off, I screwed this up. You want to jump off the very edge and hold forward. I jumped too early and I missed the present. This is a new route, by the way, where we can do the cave in a reverse order. So yeah, this may look different to what you've seen before. You want to aim in, grab that early. Alright, and this is where we do pancake animation cancels to climb up this... I don't know what you call it, this hill, I guess. You then want to... This is a really difficult part, so I'm actually going to slow this down here. So you want to pancake, 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 then shoot that, and then you want to turn to your right. I like to aim in to slow down the aiming a little bit. Shoot these 3 presents here. Don't worry about the one at the back. Now, this jump is incredibly hard. Your camera will pan and turn again like so. I like to jump around about here. I like to do a 3/4 jump. I don't know how to explain it. You can tap the button and do a short jump, or you can hold the button to do a full jump. I like to do like a half or a 3/4 jump, or a full jump does work fine. And yeah, you want to then try and grab hold. This jump here is the hardest jump in the game. It's really hard to grab hold of it. Just practice and just watch back what I do there. You then want to swing, so hold down square and X, and that will actually just let go as early as you can. I do a mistake here. You want to continue to hold square, and you want to keep spinning as you're moving to the left, because shuffling like that is slower than swinging and spinning. You want to then land on the very left here, because there is a bit of floor right below his feet, so that you then let go to drop down. Then hold down triangle straight away, crawl up, bad ref. For some reason, I know in the former world record holders runs, the guard used to not spawn there. So if the guard doesn't spawn, that's more power to you. I did not get blessed with that fortunate circumstance. I have a theory it's to do with running on ISO rather than on an actual disc, but he quotes he used to run on disc. You want to shoot the iceberg there, and then you want to hold tap left so it turns the Grinch. I didn't do it because I'm an idiot, and shoot the iceberg there. You then want to jump down, very careful, don't jump too far forward, you'll fall to the bottom, and I break a present there. I then like to aim in here, shoot the present over there, and then I jump down this way onto a platform here. Alright, so this is the hardest jump in the whole game. This is what makes the route so unique. So what I do is I like to hold triangle and crawl until I'm lined up here. See this gap, this amount of gap, this is the edge here. This is how much you want between yourself. You'll see I take a little bit more of a step just so I can get myself hanging almost off the edge. You want to be as far off the edge as you can before falling. The closer you are, the easier you can reach the blueprint. Right here is the blueprint right above my mouse. So as you can see, my camera is a little skewed on a kind of like a slight angle. So what I like to do is I switch devices and then I will center my camera. So when I come out, I'm facing straight, right? I don't have no skew camera. I then hold this down all the way until it's blinking. You want to hold forward like so. And then sometimes if you get to the top here, you can tap a little bit to the right. But as you can see there, I was able to grab the blueprint without going up, and that's what makes this route so unique. You then want to get the presents here. I summon Max as I'm sliding down the hill to save an extra half a second. Jump up, grab presents, You gotta use the rocket launcher there. Alright. So run, and then the bats will hit you once, then hold triangle and crawl so they don't hit you a second time. You then want to switch gadgets and shoot this here, and then shoot the present as well. I've learned that kind of helps. Jump off to the left because the guard will get your attention. This guard here, all the guards in this area are insane, but this guard in particular is the worst. You do not want him to know that you're around. He can shoot you on frame 1 and infinitely loop you to death, and you'll run like you lose a minute and a half easy. So you want to go off to the left. If you notice he doesn't notice you, you can then hold triangle and start crawling. Do not run at any point. Just crawl. It doesn't matter if it's slow. It's how you do it. Then you bad breath him. You get the presents there. And then you run over this way. You want to get both of these presents here. You can try and do the double method. I failed it, but you can go for it. You can run up in bad breath. You essentially want to run up this hill. Once you hit this line here, you want to just press square. Once you hit this point here, this is when the guard will have your attention, so you want to start crawling before then. You then want to shoot the Germans, because I assume they're Germans, they're very much stereotyped as Germans. Shoot them down. That's just what I call them, Germans. Yep, and you want to run across, jump down. And then this is just smart egg routing in my opinion. As you've done this, summon Max and grab this. This is 15 eggs for free. You'd be crazy to ignore 15 eggs for 3 seconds of your time. You can get shot here or you can crawl up to the guard. It's totally your preference, but this guard's a bit dumber than the others, so you're usually okay. As I'm jumping, you'll notice that as I'm jumping on the left side, because as I'm sliding down the crevice, it's actually breaking the present at the same time. It's doing 2 in 1, essentially. You want to shoot this, grab it, do the same again with the GIF. I screwed it up. Then just shoot this and leave it, and then use Max to grab the gift and the piece, the fireworks. Shoot the present, then the last bit of fireworks, then you want to shoot the left and the right. This last room is important. As you enter the room, run away from the center here, where this cake is. Run down this way, get away from there, because if you press triangle when you aim in with your binoculars, it will trigger the cutscene. You lose a lot of time, like 20 to 30 seconds. So you want to then shoot this present, shoot the other present, then press triangle to activate the cutscene. Then you want to run down to the bottom. As you land, as you can see, there's a bunch of 5s. Or there's some 5s, some 1s, some 3s. If you need eggs, this is a place to do it. I decided to grab 1 here just to be safe. Then you want to run into this house and death abuse. Alright, this next level is really long. So I am probably going to 2 times the entirety of the level. Until I at least get to the power plant. It's just really long. You want to grab a red egg, you want to shoot that droid, you want to drop down, and then you want to press the present, you want to jump out, and you want to run through. You essentially want to run through till you get to here. Stand in this position. See where the shadow is on the line? I always stand there. Then you want to shoot that present, then that that camera and the other camera. Switch to the OCD, climb up, and you're good. You want to jump down, go off to your right, grab the present here, bad breath, and whilst you're waiting for the present to spawn, grab the other one. Then we go along here. Alright, you want to run out to the point where the guard will notice you. You want to switch gadgets and then line up your shot so your bad breath will definitely hit him. Bad breath him. Good. Then you want to shoot this droid. Learn the animations carefully. Then you want to run up and bad breath this. I'm bad breathing as I'm on the platform, and I sometimes get a double bad breath. Then you want to summon Max and grab that present whilst you're waiting for the platform to drop. Shoot the buttons and the presents. Once again, I strongly recommend you watch my run first and then watch the tutorial for pointers. I'm not here to teach how to do the basics of the game. I'm just here to give pointers on the speedrun. and we hit the switches. You're gonna then pancake, then bad breath. Don't worry with the present. We're gonna shoot it. This is the one area in the game where you can actually shoot the yellow presents. You normally can't, but in this room, for some reason, they allowed it. I think to just make it easier for the player in case it falls down somewhere low. So you can shoot this present here. This is the most important bit here. It's very easy to forget these gifts exist. And sometimes this yellow present falls down the hill. So it's good to know. So you want to summon Max and you want to grab the 2 presents and the blueprint. That is, when I got back to this category, I missed it all the time. Learn the positions of where I'm standing. As you can see, I'm aiming in, tapping right and getting quick shots off. I bad breath that guard and then I turn and shoot another present. Sorry, my actual dog named Max as well is here with me now. Jump up the pipe, shoot the present. It was too hot to go out today, mate. And then right there is actually a button. So you want to aim all the way in, and if you shoot off to the left, you'll hit the actual hitbox for the other switch. Bad breath that. Shoot the presents. Pancake this, very important because you can't break that present with Max. I like to get that present first because Max's movement is faster than Grinch's movement, so technically it should be faster. And allows you to cut the corner after as well. Shoot the present. You're going to need to get 2 red eggs here when you fall down. 1, 2. I usually like to do the fan. I call it the fan first. The droid second. And another droid, and then the second fan. The 2 presents. Shoot these 2 here. 3rd fan. Then you want to breath the guard, and as you've breathed him, turn around and shoot the other 2 presents, and then squash the one he spawns. Same again here. Then you want to run up to the right here. Switch to your rocket climbing device here. Jump up. If you stay on the right-hand side of the boxes, the smoke can't hit you. And then you want to jump down onto the fan blade. I got the perfect fast cycle there. Take your time before jumping. You don't want to fall down. As you're on the fans, obviously switch devices. Switch to your rocket egg launcher so you then have it ready to go. You can do it whilst you're on this these fans here. Jump off. Shoot the gifts. Don't feel like you need to. You can pancake them if you want to save eggs. Then you want to jump off here, shoot the 2 presents, and then the switch. Squash these next 2 presents. Jump up. And then you want to fling off, grab the present, and run through. This is the power plant. This is a pretty difficult area of the game. It can be tricky at first. You want to shoot that droid with the red egg. Run around. Don't worry about the red egg a second time. You don't actually need it. You want to run onto the electrical field, then run off. So then it will spark up the electric field here. So you want to run on, turn around, jump off, then run, and then bad breath. When you get to this point here, I strongly recommend just grab every single egg. I'm actually watching this platform here to watch it go on its cycle, but you should just grab all the eggs. I think I decided to because I was low on eggs anyways. This is a pretty cool trick here. I do it really weird with my camera for some reason. So you want to switch you essentially just want to jump around this platform. You want to land here, but there's a barricade, so you want to go around the barricade and land back over the fence railing. So you jump out, and then you curve around, you jump back in. It's very easy to fail this trick, believe it or not, so make sure you practice it. I decided to wait it out. I could have made the fast cycle if I didn't grab the eggs, but I wanted to play it safe. And that's exactly what I said at this point in the run. Present, shoot, and then there. And then I actually go, I stop aiming, I tap down to turn the Grinch around, and then I tap left to look this way towards the timer, and then I aim in and I hold down, and then you'll notice I'm right next to the switch. So It's easier than trying to stay aimed in and turn around the whole time. That would take 10 seconds longer. Sometimes it's good to aim out and then aim back in, like readjust. Especially if you're like zoomed in your camera. There are 2 5s off to the left. I hope I grab them. I should do. Yeah, there's a lot of quick scoping. I need to put this back on normal speed. This is all pretty straightforward. I've got nothing else to explain here. If you're playing this on console and you're not playing on PC, after you shoot this, switch your gadget first. Because if you switch your gadget in this area, it can crash the game. And make sure you follow my camera movement as well if you're playing on console. It's a muscle memory thing, but if you follow the camera movement, you will not crash the game. I did research on it. Shoot that present and that button as well. It's very easy to forget it. Alright, so as you're running up to this green, like just run straight at it. Because when you aim in, you're like lined up to it. Does that make sense? Just run at it. Now, at this point, if you're a new player, I recommend that you summon Max, you grab the red egg here, you shoot the droid first, and then you grab everything. It's much safer. I've actually lost a run here where I was jumping and I got zapped and I fell off the platform. I like to shoot the green present there. You jump. As you can see, I just go the risky route. It's insanely risky. I would recommend not to do that. I could have made the fast cycle if I was a bit better, but yeah, it's all good. This is the last trick. This is kind of important to know what you're doing. So you want to stand, this is the middle, this is the right, this is the left. You want to be in the middle right, or like you just want to be between the middle to the right of the platform at the front, right? Oh, fuck, sorry. You then want to aim in all the way, maximum zoom. I like to aim here as it's moving. I think I get this in one shot. You then want to shoot. And you want the egg to hit, not the button, believe it or not, but actually the left side. So around here, you want it to hit like this edge. See the edge here? You want it to hit around about there. And as you can see, the hitbox is extended outward, and it actually hits. It doesn't hit if you shoot at the present. It will actually hit the hitbox of the wall. And that's that trick there. That's a very important trick to practice. And then you leave the area. Oh, shit. Excuse me. And then you go to Who Lake. This level is very hard. It's very hard to optimize. I screwed this up pretty bad, so please excuse this run, but it's a tutorial anyway, so I'm still going to use the world record run as much as I can. I have had better days, that's for sure. I'm pretty sure my first ever world record in this, like my first world record back to this category, so my second ever world record has a perfect Who Lake 1, so if you're looking for it, it's probably there. I'm pretty certain, yeah, my first world record had a perfect Who Lake 1. It's like a 139.04 or something. I'm not here to explain much of the basics here. It's pretty straightforward. I do an animation cancel as I bad breath the guard the first time, but you can switch to the rocket egg launcher here as well if it helps. Present and then another present here. You can get them 2 in 1 if you're good enough. I was not today. Gift. Take your time when shooting at the shorts. It's very easy to miss. Shoot the porcupine. Or an echidna, sorry. Alright, this trick is really important. I cannot skip over this trick. Alright, this is really important. The most important part. So you want to run up and you want to jump and land as far to the right of the fence as you can. You want to wedge yourself between this fence and this tree. So this pole here, like right here. You want to like wedge yourself in there. Just really wedge yourself in there. Don't touch zoom at this point, because if you're zoomed in, the movement animation when aimed in is slower. So just turn around, then zoom in. Then you want to shoot above the shorts. The hitbox is extended a little above the shorts. So if you shoot at the shorts, you'll hit this wall here and it won't work. So you want to aim. See here? See how I shoot above the shorts? And you'll see here, 1 scout shorts gotten. That's what you want. And the number helps. I missed my shot because I was too much to the right. So then you'll see I adjust it to the left and I drop it down just a little bit. So you want to aim for the top of the shorts, okay? And then as you aim out, you're about to fall off the fence. So you want to tap jump once and then you're fixed. If you have done that correctly, unlike me, you'll have a spare shot. So shoot the shorts that are over here to the right. If not, then just follow along what I do. I run up against this wall here. I turn around. I then aim in. I think I missed this a few times. The hitbox here is horrible. You have to hit the dead center. So yeah, I need to go down a little bit to the left. There you go. See, that is the center. And then that will spawn me at the top of the area, because it thinks I'm already up there. And that's that area mostly done. That's the hardest part, and it's really important to learn that. Take your time, make a practice save, get an emulator out with save states. I know PSX is different than PC, but when you play on emulator, you get no lag anyways, so you get a similar experience. Some tricks don't work the same though, between the versions, but the things I've listed off do work fine on both. I'm pretty certain it works on PSX and PC from memory. If you can get 4 thistles there, that's good, but if you can't, don't worry. I'm not going to go into explaining the optimization. I've never pulled it off in a run before, but there is an optimization there. If you shoot the shorts early, you get 4 thistles. You don't have to get an extra set of thistles, which will save you like 2 seconds. Alright, that's a cool little shot there. 1, 2, 3, shoot. As you see, this present's going to slide down this hill, and what's going to happen is these presents are too close together. So as you land, you actually land and squash both presents. It's pretty cool. You got to wait a little bit for them to slide, but it's faster than trying to jump on both. Shoot the presents, shoot the echidna for the thistles. Well, porcupine, I guess it's a porcupine. My bad. Guess we'll call it a porcupine then. Grab these eggs, these are all 5s. You'd be crazy not to. Eggs is important. Shoot the child, switch gadgets, switch outfits. So you're now the scout Grinch. Squash the present here, and here, and here, then leave the area. Now, I believe this has my biggest mistake in the whole run. I believe I screw this up from memory, so forgive me for this here. You want to jump down, and you want to grab the blueprint, and I don't like jumping stationary onto the first present. I like to be running, then jumping. So I give myself a little bit of run and a jump, and then I land. The camera here is horrible. You need to just practice. And then you want to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I screwed up. I went too far forward. I was raging at this point because I just threw away really good pace. Again, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You want to be like tapping, just tapping as you're shuffling and hopping across the presents. Jump in front of the moose. Don't jump too close on top of their backs, it won't work. Jump up here, summon Max, run all the way over, get this present, go inside the house, it'll trigger a cutscene. You're now a skunk. Grab the blueprint and the present. Hold up, don't hold right like I did there. That's how you re-enter the room like an idiot. You want to attract this skunk with you to then scare off the scout. Very important, this present right here, if you're playing on PSX, obviously you shouldn't be following this tutorial if you're playing on console. The routes are entirely different, I'm pretty certain. Well, they're similar, but this level's different. So very important. If you're playing on console or an emulator or whatever, you need to get this present first. If you don't get this present before you leave to the other areas of the map, the present will despawn and be lost forever. On PC though, it's okay. And that's why PC is kind of superior for this category. The only exception is probably any percent. Make sure you do 2 high jumps there. On PC, it won't work. On console, you can do a low jump on the second. You then want to run along and squash the... what do you call this guy? I don't even know. Mole? Squash the mole. He has certain positions he'll consistently go to. They're like preemptive. It's just he'll randomize where he goes, so you need to learn the positions. If you're good enough, you'll get most of them. Make sure you count to 10. Make sure you've squashed 10 presents. If you haven't squashed 10, then there's a problem. Jump down. A present may have slid off the edge. Summon Max after you leave this room and grab the present right below. Alright, this next bit's important. You want to jump on the very left. This is important. You want to be on the very left side of this. You can then hold square and X. Just hold square and X. Do nothing else. And it will do perfect, frame perfect jumps across, and you'll land just barely on the edge. If you're shuffled anywhere to the right, you'll miss it and fall off. You then want to squash these. Switch back to normal Grinch. Shoot the present to your right here. Grab eggs along the way. However many eggs you have at this point will essentially be it for the rest of the game. So you want to be somewhere around 160, I believe, at this point. If you're at 160 plus, you're doing okay. Grab any eggs you can. Important here, and this will save you a lot of time and effort, shoot this present on the water first. You need to shoot it. It's the only way you can break it without dying. So shoot it, and then unzoom out, zoom in, and shoot the 2 legs. Then jump onto this platform. As you land, switch devices. It will actually switch devices whilst you're in the air, and you can actually animation cancel to stop the launching animation and make you land closer to the present. Just practice it though. As you land on the floor, hold down circle here, and it will then shoot you straight up. At this point here, don't just hold forward, then hold down. Run forward, stop, then tap down to turn around, then hold down. If you do it too fast, you'll turn too sideways and you'll fall off the edge. Present is there, make sure you don't miss it. Run all the way through this cave. This is a new route where we activate this cutscene. Then you want to run down and bad breath him right away. I screw this up, but you can get him straight away. Summon Max and get the present and Death Abuse, then switch back to Scout Grinch. And then leave the area. Alright, so there's a cool trick you can do on PC. This doesn't work so well on console, I don't think. Where you can run straight from the middle of the van and double jump, and there's like a landing zone here. It doesn't work so well on console. You can land and then jump up. You can just push the boulder if you prefer, but that is a bunch of time wasting. So just learn the strat. It's worth it. Alright, push this boulder, but don't jump down. Off to the left. Get boat number 1. That's my legs. Get the present, get boat number 2. Alright, there's a cool little trick here you want to do. So you want to line up your camera as straight as you can. Summon Max and push him up against the fence here. Make sure he's pushed completely against the fence and make his model face straight. I find it easier if his model's straight, not sideways. And you want to run up. You want to jump on his back, and then you want to jump again. Do I need to ban you, man? I mean, the G and T are close together. I'll allow it. If you say anything else, you'll be getting banned. Okay, as long as you didn't mean it. That's fine. I trust you. Sorry, it's your first time chatting. You can't blame me. There is a mosquito around here that can be a problem, so just be wary of that. Here's the present right here. That's the present that will deload in console, so be careful of that. As you're running up the hill, you want to be looking out for a mosquito. There's usually one that spawns up here. He'll either be on the right or the left. For my run, he was over to the left, so I run around the right side of the house to avoid him. You're alright, Melee. Just as a streamer, you know all too well, a first time chatter says something that's sus, you gotta be careful. Alright, so you've completed the level here. This is Marine Mobile, this is the menu for it. I'll play it in real time. This is the Grinch. Just practice. I'm not going to explain. I think I screwed up anyways. Yeah, I did. I screwed up this menu. I put this piece and this piece in the wrong spot, but at this point I am aware of it because I've made that mistake. This is like a new route, so all the pieces are in different spots, so my muscle memory is really screwed up. Alright, so I'm actually going to switch to a different video here. This is my second last world record. I'm going to still play this in 1.5, but this is the Who Lake 2 level. This is very difficult. The mechanics are really tough to, like, mastering how to move the boat around is really challenging. I recommend just either, you don't actually need a save state. You can just load a save and keep practicing. Even if you've done this mission already, you can keep practicing it over and over again. Obviously, if the presents are squashed though, that's not very good. So make a save before you start this level. You want to grab the, I guess you call these like clams, or I don't know, orbs. You can grab this guy here early, but don't like worry if you don't. You then want to grab that present there. Don't worry about the other one, you're going to grab it later. We're then going to go up and grab this one here with the blueprint. Then I like to drop down and hit this present here. And as soon as you hit it, hold the down button and the boost, and that will make you hit the 9th, and then you go over to the 10th. These routes might change by the time you watch this video, so be careful and just double check. Always watch the world record run to be sure. But I believe this to be one of the most optimal routes. I theory crafted a bunch of different routes, and this is the one I found easiest, most consistent, and fast to do. So as you're hitting that sea cow, you then want to hit this next sea cow onto the kelp in front of you there. And as he's chewing on the kelp, you want to head over to the first present that you've gotten from the sea kelp. So what I do is I hit the sea cow over to the next kelp behind. And as he's doing that, it's a bunch of multitasking is what you're doing here. So then you grab this present here. And then you grab the present that was revealed from the kelp before. And then you want to hit him a second time. Sometimes it requires 2 hits, but that was only 1. You want to hit that present that you skipped earlier, because you're actually just waiting for this kelp to be eaten away. Hit the present, go up, then grab the boat item or whatever it is, part. Grab the present there. This one's kind of precise. Hug along this pillar, then push into that bit of kelp there. If it says sea cow at work, you've done it correctly. I was a bit hesitant. This can be done in 1 hit, but I always say 2 hits is the safest way. Then you want to hit that one once. If you've got it in the rough area, you've done it. See how it work comes up. There's a present on the floor here right away. 2 presents over here. 1 behind here. And then you want to go up and then backwards to this platform. You'll do the same in the other room as well. You want to jump, squash this present here. And then over behind you is the button. And then you hit it. Continue to hold square if you do it just like that, and you can swim down right away. You don't need to re-dive a second time. This here is, this sea cow is really annoying on PC to get eating the kelp. I recommend hitting it twice. I did a really good hit there, so it worked out fine. Fall down, hit this sea cow into the kelp, turn around. That one only requires 1 hit. It's pretty generous. I was a bit hesitant because it was a weak hit. And then grab the present from the sea kelp here. Then go over to this sea cow here for this present over here. And make sure to grab this one from earlier. That's a good enough hit. You can tell when they turn around and head towards it. Grab the present from there. Grab the present from here. And now you've grabbed essentially every present but 1 in this area. So now you need to focus on getting these little like orb guys. So you want to chase them down. 1 is there. And then I'm always scanning for the second one. This one was a bit of a pain, but he coincidentally swam right to where I need to go. I caught him now, and then there's the last present there. Before entering the final area, of course. I like to hold down, and I like to let go of square when I hit the wall and then re-tap it again, so then I can continue swimming through without it thinking I'm crashing into a wall. Presents here, same thing again behind you for that present there. Then you want to just single jump and squash that. You can jump and you can hit it and then do the dive right after, but it never usually works on PC, so I do 2 dives. Then fly into the last part, and you're done. This is an unskippable cutscene, so have a stretch, have a drink, do whatever you need to do. And then we're going to do the upward part. So you want to grab this present here, swim up, line yourself up so you're just doing straight jumps. Don't try and jump on angles, that's really stupid. Line yourself up straight. These are all right behind each other. So I get a pretty good angle here. 1, so it only requires slight shuffles to fix. 3, I like to, I don't think you have to dive, but I like to dive here and then grab that blueprint there. And then you can start swimming faster now at this point, just go crazy with it. This one here, and then I like to swim off in a little bit of an angle. I like to create my angle first, as you can see, for another 3 that are straight behind each other. 1, 2, 3, and then the last 2 are over here. So this one here. And then you can either dive or re-dive a second time. I think I dive here, yep, and then I head out. And that's this level done. That is essentially a gold split for me, as you can see here. This segment time was ridiculously good. Where in my world record, it was good, but not as good. It was kind of, well, actually, it was kind of shit. I'm not going to lie to you. So, yeah, I wanted to show you guys how it actually, because that's an important one to know how to do right, and I wanted to show you guys the best example. This is Grinch Copter. This is your last menu. Follow along. Watch my world record in slow motion and just watch how I move the pieces. I do screw this up because my muscle memory is still buggered from an older menu. I put this piece in the wrong spot continuously. This piece goes here and this piece goes here, but I just kept screwing that up and I just couldn't get it right. Like, I knew right away what I was doing wrong and I've corrected myself, but yeah, it's still frustrating. And now we have the Grinch Copter. Be careful when using the Grinch Copter. Every time you tap circle, it will use up 1 egg. So you want to hold it, let go. Hold it, let go. That's how you want to do it to efficiently use eggs. I have about 165 plus at this point. You really want to be at 175, 180. If not, go to the max and go 200. Seriously, if you're a new player, just try to get maximum amount of eggs. It is so much faster in earlier runs. As you're flying towards this person, once I hit about here, I'm actually pressing square. So the bad breath is out and I'm pushing into him, and then the bad breath will hit him and he will not run away. You want to get these 2 presents here, squash. This area here is very slippery, so be careful. The Grinch can fall. You can just use the Grinch Copter to fly back up. You'll notice here that I sometimes, like, see this point in the Grinch Copter? This is the hitbox for him. But I'll sometimes intentionally fly up so my head or my face hits the present. I do this to stop my momentum because I'm flying at the wall, right? So I want to kill my momentum. So I smash into the present first. That will kill my momentum and then pop the present. There is a bit of a mistake that happens here. And I think it's due to the mosquitoes. They screw it up for me. You're meant to land on this and then you want to switch. And then, so let me correct myself here. If you land on top of the truck, it will slow the truck down and it will allow you to animate the, oh, actually, you know what? I'm actually just going to show it in this run here. Let me just find it for you real quick. Let me just pull it up for you. It's just going to be easier if I just show it straight up, as is. Oh, here we go. Found it. Alright, here we go. So you want to land on the present. I mean, oh, I keep saying present. You want to land on, and that will help you animate and slow the truck down so it stays closer to you. You don't want to fall down, and then you want to shoot the present. You want to really spam bullets, and you can break the truck early. I don't do that in this run, unfortunately, so I have to do it on the second lap. It's just how it goes sometimes. Once again, I actually fly up higher to stop my momentum. Don't land on this present as you're flying. It will shoot you up in the air. This is really hard to shoot this guard. I do miss my shot. You want to... I waste 10 eggs right there. So just make sure you line up your shot properly. That was a bad level for me, and it was because of the mistakes you already saw. This level, however, does go very well. So you want to start the race with max. This is very easy. Am I on 2 times speed? Let's go on 2 times speed. You want to run through, complete the race. If you're doing this on console, don't follow this at all. I mean, you can, but there is an entirely different strat done here on console that's pretty unique and very difficult. I recommend watching my console world record for that. The route is a bit outdated though, so just be wary. I will update my runs soon. When I mean soon, I mean next year. Alright, so the movement here, I kind of screw it up, but I'll show you the approach. You want to run through, and you want to do this curve motion, so you want to come down, around, and then run at this cupboard of drawers, I guess, so you can jump onto the platform and then up. If you do it on the side, it doesn't always get you on top. It will like jump you up and you fall down. So by doing it, see it like that. So you want to run at the wall. So you want to be running at this wall as you're jumping up. And that will allow you to get up both areas. If you run too sideways, it won't work. So I do it here as an example. 1, 2, like that. And then as you exit, the max will be here. So either jump or run around him. And then squash this present here and then enter this next area. You then want to fly up or grab the eggs on the floor if they're available. I screw that up a little bit. I bump into some mesh that's hidden in the sky. Squash the present, squash the present. Allow the beast to swipe, run away, and then bad breath. You can do it more optimally, but it's just not worth it. Shoot the child here and use max to break the present. Really important. Don't let the present slide away from you, because it was on its way to sliding off the edge. So if I didn't use max there, I would have been screwed. And I would have lost a chunk of time. Grab that present hidden there. Now you want to switch to your Grinch copter. You want to fly. I like to hold claw. I hold like that. My pointer on circle and my thumb on square. As you're flying, once you're near the fence, so about here, I am pressing square. I'm pressing square right now. So see that gap? It allows time for the bad breath to come out and to fly into him. As you can see, he ran into my bad breath and I was able to get him. Right here is a double. It's not common, so don't expect to get it. I fly up and bonk into it intentionally, same as this one. So I can then go over here. You can die here. I don't know how to fix the problem. I'm sorry if your run does die here. I've had my runs die here too. Yeah, it can happen. Just be careful. The presents actually heal you as well. Fun fact. Presents here. Grab the eggs and get caught by the dog. You can animation cancel there. I just forgot. You want to do an L1, L1, R1, R1 if you want to do that. Then squash the 2 presents here. Present, present. And it should say all the gifts from Who Forest are squashed. And that's how you know you've done it. Leave the level. Then head to Who Lake. You then want to do the jump. As you're running, you jump and it will boost you forward. Then I fly over to the child to do the GPS minigame. You need to shoot 10 crows here. Zoom in a little bit so it doesn't make your crosshair so like sensitive. I got pretty good RNG here, so I finished it with 3 seconds to spare. It's a very difficult minigame, so practice because it wastes a lot of eggs if you fail. I don't know if I'm finishing this tutorial in time. I've got 12 minutes to finish, essentially 12 minutes of gameplay. I need to try and keep this on 2 times speed for a bit. Squash the present here. Sorry if this is a fast tutorial, but I feel like the shorter the sweeter, you know what I mean? If it says like it's a 5-hour tutorial, no one's gonna want to fucking sit through that. Switch back to Scout Grinch. Then we're gonna head to the right and we're gonna get some presents here. Down by the wooden fence off to the right there. So 1 and then 2. Grab any presents around here if you've forgotten them. You can get this moose on the fast cycle, as you see here. Alright, now this area is very difficult. There's quite a lot to it. I'm going to play this in normal speed. You want to switch to normal Grinch. Then you want to start swinging on the pole here right in front of you. I'd let go too early, so be wary of that. You want to have the log come all the way up, so one more swing will do it. Then you want to switch to your rocket egg launcher. I like to shoot the present off to the right there first. And then I shoot the bees. And then once the bees land, I then jump on the switch, which will then knock him down. I then switch to my Grinch copter. I then grab the eggs, fly, land on this platform and summon Max. That to grab the hidden rope there with the eggs as well. I then fly over to the other eggs over here. There's another 5 there. There's 5s all over, so take your time and grab as many eggs as you need. Another 5 here, another 5 here. I essentially need between 60 to 70 to do the rest of this level and essentially the rest of the game if I can execute it perfectly. I was able to actually stun this guard as he was shooting at me. Don't expect to get this. I've only gotten this once since coming back to the game. It is very difficult. And then you want to bad ref him, I think 4 times. Yeah, on the 4th, you then want to jump down, squash the present, fly back up. Grab the scout scarf. Grab any eggs you need here. Reminder, for a new player, you want to be probably at 80. Shoot those legs. Super important. If you forget, you're screwed. You'll lose a lot of time. You then want to switch to the Grinch copter. I use Max to quickly grab a few more eggs. His mobility's faster. I'm now on 63, and I start. That's very risky. Don't start with 63. You then want to fly up here. My voice is dying. And grab the presents. Make sure you don't fly too low. You want to bonk into them. Squash the present to the left here. God, I can't talk like this for long periods. This really hurts. I've been at work all day talking. Land. Then you want to use Max to get that present as you're luring the guard over, the scout guard. Fly. He'll fall down. Grab it. The scarf. Jump down. Grab this present. As you jump, you've got some height, so then start flying up to the top of the waterfall. 2 presents on the lower part here, and then 1 up high. Then land into the waterfall. This will actually speed up, like, your falling animation will quintuple in speed. So you want to land on the water, so it sends you down low. You then want to start flying. I do it too early, I got scared. You then want to get this present. And this is the most important part, and this is where I really need to slow down and teach these guys how to do this flying scout guard consistently and efficiently. So you want to break this present here. You then want to line the Grinch up to the very right side, like right here, with this branch. You want to fly up straight, just straight up, and you should land brushed up against this, right? Once you're up, you want to start holding forward and right. So you want to hold forward and right. So you see I start holding, as you can see, I was forward and then I was right. Continue to hold those 2 buttons down as you're flying. And what you'll do is you'll fly directly behind him. Look, I'm essentially kissing him. And then you want to bad breath him, and that's how you catch him instantly. That's the setup. Please practice it. I'm not going to go over it any more than that, but practice. Practice, practice, practice. You can practice it as many times as you want. You don't need save states. You can even complete this level or the game and come back and do it again. It allows you to keep practicing it. You then want to fly up and get this present here. Fall down. Oh no, sorry. Fly into the cave and complete the mission. Gosh darn it, you've done it, green man. That's what he says. Then fly back in again. Squash the 2 presents here. Then summon Max because he runs faster than the Grinch. And then you want to grab some eggs on the way out and Death Abuse to get back to the start of the level. So you grab eggs 1 and 2. You fall to your death. You then switch to Scout Grinch. Grab some eggs as you go along. You want to have between, realistically, 40 at this point. That's what I do. I run around in a smart way to grab presents along because there's plenty of them around this level. Feel free to use this level to farm for eggs if you need to. Once you've got between 40 to 60, you're definitely good. I think you only need about 50 to finish the game, for sure. Like, with the amount I've got, I've cleared it pretty easy as well. But, you know, I'm obviously doing things riskier, so be cautious of that. You then want to swing up here, Oh, sorry, I should say, you want to sneak in here and complete this mission. It is super important. I used to forget to do this mission all the time. Make sure you do it. Then you want to swing up here, grab the present here, and you're done. Then you want to run through the area, then jump off and fall to your death again. They'll take you to the start of the level, quit out. This is the last level of the game, I guess, Who Dumped 3. This is where you'll get your 3,000 eggs. You go to the power plant first, fly low and grab these eggs, they're free eggs. If you need more, there's more up here as well. That's what I mean, like, eggs is really easy to come by at the end of the game. I grab a little bit more for safety. I didn't really need to. Squash this present here. It's very easy for that present to not show or spawn, so fly straight at it. Then you want to grab this present here from that cool little long distance shot you did earlier. Squash this. I screwed that up like an idiot. Switch back to your gadget. Run and bad breath him first. He will be close enough that you can bad breath him, then get your presents. And then jump down and then fly towards the end. If you don't have enough eggs, just run. Then you want to fly through the tunnel here. You're then going to squash that present I told you to skip earlier, and then you put the pizzas in the tube, and that will complete that mission. That is very easy to forget, so don't forget to do that mission as well. I used to forget it all the time, so don't feel bad if you do. You can just fly over there and then complete it, and you've 100%ed the game anyways. But you can complete standard, go back and do missions, and then 100% it. It still counts. Get those two presents there, and the one on the roof. Back two, and then to the left. There's some eggs here you can grab if you're still short. I'm good, however. Forward to one left, so you want to have it in the top middle of the chest. This one's the top right. And then the last chest piece is in the middle right. Make sure you're grabbing the presents as you go along. So one to the forward, one to the right. Then I like to run ahead. If you look at the barricade or the wall that's blocked off, you will activate the cutscene. I do it in this order. So that's back 1, 3 to the left, 2 forward, pull the lever, and then as you look at it, it will activate the cutscene. You use max, and then you're good. And you fly up, grab this present here, and congratulations, you have 3,000 gifts. You then leave the area. As you leave, you want to run and jump and fly to your right here towards Who Lake. And it's essentially, the hole is like right here. And you want to fly through and then start the cutscene. Make sure you land and then start the cutscene. Sometimes the game can crash there. So just land and run up and then start. You want to grab these 10 presents here. I'm not going to tell you how Santa works. Please practice it. If you fail it, it'll let you try again. So it's a good way to practice. Maybe intentionally failing. They drop in almost the exact same spot every time. So there's almost like it's like a dance routine. You do it the same way each time. You'll get the same sort of results. And then lastly, with the Santa fight, what I like to do here is I like to start shooting. Even though I know it's missing, that's okay. So I start shooting, and then I tap up and left on my D-pad, which will push me down and left. And what they'll do is they'll line me up for a shot there. And then I tap down, and then let go, and then it will pull it back up for another shot. Down, and then shoots again. Down for a second shot. But I didn't execute. I was a bit nervous. And then hold neutral and spam circle, and then start holding down, which will pull it up. And then I start doing little left flicks as well as I'm turning. And then the timer ends when the cutscene's essentially loaded. So there, that's when the the timer ends. And that's 100%. Obviously, the run is invalid if you don't 100% the game. That should be pretty self-explanatory. So I watched all the cutscenes because I was pretty excited. And the way you know you've 100%ed the game is if you skip the cutscenes or get to the end of the game after the cutscenes have ended, it should load this bike minigame. If it doesn't load this bike minigame, you've either not gotten 3,000 gifts or you've not completed all the missions. So if it hasn't, it will spawn you back in Mount Crumpet. You can then pull out your book and look at the missions and flick through the pages to see what you missed. Usually I miss either 3,000 gifts, but I already know before going to Santa if I have 3,000 gifts because I always check at the end of Who Dump. It's a pretty standout number. And as well, I'll check the missions as well. The ones I usually forget is commonly either the mayor with the bed in Who Lake 3 or the Who Dump mission with the pizzas. They're the ones I usually miss. The others I never miss. And then this is just optional. This isn't a part of the run. So yeah, that's everything. Like I said again, feel free to watch this run. It's on my second channel here. Watch it back in your own time and you'll learn how to play the game properly. Watch what I do, then try to do what I do. Listen to my video here for advice on beginner tips. You should. This route is good enough that most players should be able to do most of the things I do here. I just do them very optimally. All I recommend is take your time and don't underestimate your egg count. Don't try to cut corners and skip eggs. If it's not that far out of reach, grab it. It's always worth it. Or if it's a 3 and you want to wait a few extra seconds for it to generate to a 5, let it generate to a 5. And then that's how you do it. That's how the game works, and that's the tutorial done. Yeah, so anyone watching on YouTube, actually, yeah, that's you. Please like, comment, subscribe. Tell me if you like these type of tutorials. This is probably how I'll be doing them going forward. I feel like they're more personable. I don't like doing too heavy levels of editing on this sort of stuff. I save that for my other projects. So yeah, if you enjoyed it and like to see me do more tutorials, maybe any percent or all gadgets, I will do that again for you guys when I come back next year. When I do all gadgets world record grinds, I'll then do an all gadgets tutorial, and then I'll do an any percent tutorial later on down the stretch. Feel free to check out our leaderboards. It's speedrun.com/Grinch in lowercase, and that will take you straight to where you need to go. All right? Cool. All right. That'll be all. Thank you for watching.